think we've got a poll question we're going to launch here for the crowd. So switching gears a little bit from salads to strategies, we would love to get your opinion on what strategies you are using to win new business for 2022. So we've got alternative healthcare funding, concierge level brokerage service, health savings accounts potentially, or maybe some really robust benefit admin technology. We'll give everyone just a couple of seconds to consider these options, and then we'll close the poll out here. So we'll give you just 1 minute. Chris, while we got people voting, what do you think on that salad?
Yeah, looks delicious. Way more colorful than I usually make a salad. So I'm going to take some tips from Steph there.
Yes, I think we should do a difference card challenge where we make the salad at home and we post pictures to see whose looks the best.
It looks like a perfect Thanksgiving salad. So
yes.
We've got some time Thanksgiving weekend. I may give that a shot.
Love it. Share your picture if you convince your kids to eat it. That's even better. All right, looks like we've got the majority of our participants that have voted. I'm actually going to save these results till a little bit later in the presentation. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Taylor. All right, so let's talk about winning new business. That's really the topic of our discussion today. We got past the eat right piece of this, so now we're going to win the fight. And how to win the fight in the new business side of things. I want to just talk about some of the ways that you all are out there winning new business, which in the past 2 years have been really difficult, right? It's been a very different market than what we've been used to with everything that's gone on with the remote work and virtual environment. So in the past, many brokers we work with, they had great relationships with the prospects. They've cultivated them through entertaining, lunches, golf. That's been much more difficult in the past couple of years. Now, relationship is really important still. And you've got to still find different ways to cultivate relationships, but you may need to move beyond that too and find other ways to win new business, because especially on the side of going after customers you haven't established a relationship with, it's very difficult to do that in this current environment. So some of you, as I poll our broker partners, I know they're leading with services, right? And that's a great way to differentiate yourself, show the great broker services that you provide, the customer service, the consultative strategy. So there's a lot of great things you can do with leading with services. And what I'm going to focus on today is on the third side here, the leading with solutions arm of this channel, using solutions that can deliver better benefits at a better price. And that tagline, better benefits at a better price, is something that we've seen our brokers be really successful with lately. It's not just about cost savings. It's also about delivering better benefits, because a lot of employers are looking for ways to retain employees. We talked about that great resignation in our last webinar. That's a real thing. Many more employees have left their jobs in the last few months than ever before. So employers are looking for ways to really retain their staff, and using better benefits as a way to potentially do that. So for today's discussion, I'm going to focus on two solutions that are both on the same theme. So the HSA plus MERP strategy, I'm going to show you how to use that to lower premiums, but also improve employee benefits. And then we'll shift to dental towards the end of this discussion, talk about how to cut out some of that carrier margin and also deliver better benefits at a better price in the dental world, getting into that 100 type dental benefit that may be elusive in the typical insurance world. So to start here, let's talk about the HSA plus MERP strategy. And how does this work? Well, you all are very familiar with HSAs, health savings accounts. And the typical group today in the health savings account world has about a $3,000 single deductible. So that's on the left side here. This is something you're familiar with, right? A high deductible health plan paired with a health savings account. And the difference card is administering these health savings accounts for many of our customers. But a lot of agents have not quite gone to the MERP plus HSA strategy. It's almost like you're thinking one or the other. Once I move off the copay strategy, I'm just doing HSAs. Well, if you pair the two together, you can maximize the savings, potentially find some more money to even deliver some of those better benefits. So in this equation, the group chose to buy a $6,000 deductible or a $6,200 single deductible instead of the $3,000. The first $3,000, they're using their difference card, but it's coming out of the employee health savings account bucket. So that's the employee money paying first. Then once the member reaches their portion of the deductible, we're activating their difference card MERP, and that's when the employer bucket of money is kicking in. So the first portion is the employee bucket, health savings account dollars are coming out of that if the employee wants to use it, right? It's optional. They don't have to use their HSA money. They could use post-tax dollars. And then once they've activated their MERP, they've gotten past their $3,000 deductible. Now they're going to use the card for the difference card funding. And ultimately, they're going to get the same plan design they had before, that $3,000 deductible. So the reason you might put in place the MERP plus the HSA is you're getting that triple tax advantage of the health savings account that a lot of employees and employers love, and you're finding dollars out of the healthcare premiums. So there's a real customer for January 1st that a broker was able to win by using this strategy. And it did have a dual option. They had a copay plan and an HSA plan. And the strategy was twofold. One, to reduce their renewal, and then two, to deliver better benefits on the copay side and better benefits on that HSA plan as well. But the start was to lower their fixed premium from 2.5 million to 1.9. So we got that almost $600,000 reduction in premium by buying the higher deductible plans. And then we filled the gaps in the copays and deductibles by using the difference card. We actually improved the benefits and brought their total cost to 2.2 million. So it's about an 11% swing off of that renewal, saving this customer $258,000 and giving better benefits to the staff. So what do I mean by better benefits? I'm going to show you an example on this next page here. This is our benefit analysis, and I'm just going to compare their current plans on the left. This was a group with Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they had about 270 people on the policy, so pretty good size account. A lot of spend today, right? Going up to 2.5 million in their current renewal offering. So instead of taking that option, they moved to the plan in the middle with the $6,000 deductibles, and that generated the lower premium. We got a 17% reduction in premium by buying the higher deductible, higher copay plans. And the group reinvested that savings into the difference card using our solution to build back to a better benefit structure than what the group had before. So this group did have some turnover issues in 2021, and they wanted to address that turnover by giving better benefits to reward the people that had stayed at the company and try to attract new talent and keep them with their business. So they gave them $0 copays. So primary care and specialists went down to $0. They lowered the deductible for the copay plan to $500. And they got rid of some of those copays after the deductible on the HSA plan. So anything in green, you'll notice, is a better benefit. A lot of green on the difference card side because this group was able to, again, lower their cost to 6% below current instead of the 5% increase and deliver much better benefits to their staff. So finally, this group wanted to know about the long-term effect. We showed them the 5-year savings projection. This assumed a 9% renewal in the future. And it's really about the compounding effect, right? Getting their renewal premium down as low as possible, buying them another 3.5 years from a premium compound perspective. And in this case, saving this group over $1.5 million over a 5-year scale. So pretty powerful stuff financially. And now they've got a really, really rich benefit that they can use to retain and attract employees, something that they can say, you can't get these benefits off the street from any carrier. You need that extra difference card supplement to get to that better benefit level. All right, now that we've shared one of our strategies, Taylor, why don't you share what everybody else is using?
Yeah, this was a really interesting mix of responses. So the question again was, what strategies are you using to win new business in 2022? 60% said alternative healthcare funding, which is great because you're probably using the difference card. We had 15% that were using concierge level brokerage services. Only 5% are using health savings accounts. So I really hope, Chris, that the group here is taking away that you can pair those alternative healthcare funding solutions with HSAs for a really powerful product. And then 20% are using really robust benefit admin technology. So a good mix, but I'm encouraged to see that we got a lot of people on here that we can convince that this HSA strategy is something they should check out. All right. So now we are going to pass it over to Dr. Dan. He is perhaps the nicest dentist I've ever met, and maybe because he's never done dental work on me, but he is super knowledgeable about the dental industry, and he's going to tell us about the Dental Difference, which is this great product we rolled out earlier this year, as Chris mentioned. So without further ado, Dr. Dan, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Taylor, for the introduction. And yes, there are many nice dentists out there. I'll have to introduce you to someone. Okay, so we can clear that up. But thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. I know it's a busy time of year for you all. I'll do my best to make it worth your time and shed some light on dental benefits in general, and also the opportunity for you and your clients with Dental Difference. So first off, let's just think about for a second and ask the question, what is dental insurance? And it's important we ask this question and understand it, because providing great benefits and retaining employees is extremely important in this environment. And so when I look at dental benefits from my side of the equation, when I was a practitioner, I looked at this and said, dental insurance is not dental benefits. Okay. And I know sometimes people in the dental and in the benefit industry, that's what we've been trained to know for a very long time. But dental benefits is really dental care. It's the dental care you receive at dental practices. That's dental benefits. Dental insurance is really just a payment vehicle for dental benefits. And that vehicle is broken. And so when we talk about, the problem with dental insurance, the problem really is you have employers who are spending and employees, they're paying premiums of $62 billion, about $62 billion paid into this dental insurance system to pay for dental care, right? So you have $62 billion going into the system and saying, hey, take care of our employees' dental care. Well, about $25 billion of that isn't being used for dental care, right? And so you have, about a 40% loss that's happening there. On top of it, you see about 50% of employees actually don't use the dental insurance. Only 2 to 4% about maximize it. And the average, annual benefit claim is just $362. And so when you look at this, it's important to understand that money can be used in a more efficient way, because people are funding it. Let's find a better way to go ahead and use it. And that's what we've done with Dental Difference. And so one other word too that I want to just touch on here is a word about utilization. And what is utilization? Because we get these end of year summaries, right? They're like 8 to 9 pages, and I don't know who reads them and goes through every part of it and understands it, but we do. And if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll see statistics like percent utilization, and 70% utilization sounds good. And well, if you dig deeper into that, if an employee visits a dental office and maybe they just have a toothache and they find out, oh, I just bit on something wrong, there's really nothing wrong with my tooth, but you file the claim, that claim was $80 and that's all they used for the entire year. Well, that's considered utilization, right? And so when we look at utilization, it's almost like this illusion in these summaries. It makes people feel good about, spending this money into this traditional dental insurance model. So what's important to know is really the average claim, right? And that's what's being utilized, the money in the system that's being utilized, and is it being utilized efficiently? So you have these billions of premium dollars flowing into this traditional insurance model, 40 cents of every dollar never providing care, 50% of employees not using it, the average claim about $362 for the people who do. If you haven't already, are you starting to see the problem? So let's think about it this way. And I like to use analogies. If you went to the gas station and you filled up your car with gas, 100%, you filled it up with gas, and as soon as you drove away from that gas station, you lost 40% of your gas, would you keep driving that car? Probably not. Okay, you'd get a new car. The challenge been for the last 30 plus years, there really hasn't been any innovation in dental benefits and dental insurance in general. I mean, sure, some are giving away free toothbrushes that are connected to your Instagram account or whatever it might be, but really, where's the more efficient utilization and streamlining of benefits in that model? So when we look at, I'll give you an example of the myth that we see on our side from practicing dentists, of end users, okay, employees trying to use those benefit dollars. And this is something that happens tens of thousands of times in dental offices all across the country. Let's say, for example, you fell and you accidentally broke your front tooth, right? Nobody wants to do that, but now you need to get it fixed. So you have dental insurance. First, you need to satisfy what's called that waiting period. Okay, you have to satisfy that waiting period. And so if you haven't satisfied that waiting period and you broke your front tooth, well, you're out of luck. Well, let's just say you have satisfied that waiting period. And you go and you find out, okay, to get your smile back in shape, it's going to be $1,000 for that tooth to fix it. And you think, okay, great, I have $1,500 in coverage. Well, you find out pretty quick, you can't use that full $1,500 to pay for your $1,000 crown. Okay. You can only use 50% of it, but you can only use 50% of the crown the insurance company thinks you need. And that's a $600 crown. So they're only going to pay $300 out of a $600 crown. You're left paying $700 out of pocket. Okay. And this happens in multiple ways in multiple times in dental offices across the country. And so really the question becomes is, what good is $1,500 in coverage if you can't access it, right? So when we think about insurance, it's understanding money being paid into the system and that money being used more efficiently. And so the current model that we have out there of dental benefits is broken. And that's where dental difference comes in. And so what dental difference is doing is it's creating a better benefit for a better price. Now I'm going to have, kick it back over to Chris and have him talk about more about plan design, because the folks at Difference Card, that's their specialty. When I look at your spreadsheets that you deal with in the benefit industry, and I understand them now, but it's like getting a root canal. Okay. That's what it's like to me. So I'll have Chris go ahead and explain a little bit more about plan design, and we'll jump back in together in just a sec.
Yeah, great overview, Dr. Dan. I think that's a good way to just understand the current problem with the dental insurance industry and the current plan design that everybody is out there seeing today. That the most typical plan is this $50 deductible, $1,000 dental limit, and it's the 180-50 plan, which means 100% coverage for preventive care, 80% for basic, 50% for major. It is the plan design that you see copied over and over and over again. That's the typical plan that we see in the market today. So for an employer that might want to be differentiating themselves and providing a better dental benefit than the other competitors in the market, well, that's where the dental difference comes in, because we're not going to follow the same deductible and 180-50 structure that traditional dental insurance provides. We're going to do it on a way that's improving the benefits for the staff. So they're going to get a difference card. And if it's a current difference card member, let's say they have our health insurance solution already, it's the same card. So that's the first great benefit, right? It's all together, one card, one customer service team, one website. And that card is loaded with $1,000 in this example that they can use for their preventive care, their basic care, their major care, even orthodontic care. So it's going to pay 100% of those services. So it's really a 100 plan. And again, that's something that most dental insurance companies won't even sell you. So it's a better benefit, no deductible, but we're still sticking to the same limit unless the employer wants to improve the actual dental plan. And I wanted to show you a real life example. So we rolled this out to our customers and our brokers earlier this year. And the Difference Cards dental renewal came up in November. So this summer we were working on our dental renewal, and our prior carrier was Cigna. And we've got about 85 people that participate in our Cigna policy. And we knew that we didn't have that much utilization this year. A lot of people didn't go to the dentist because of COVID still. There still has been this lack of dental utilization. But despite that, Cigna still gave us a 5% dental renewal increase. So our $45,000 dental spend would have went up to $48,000. And as we were discussing our options, we asked Cigna, said, first, can you lower that? They said no, it is what it is. And then we said, well, what about a self-insured option? Would you give us the option to pay our own dental claims? And they also said no, because we're in this 50 to 300 space, they don't provide it. It's not a profitable enough product for Cigna and for many other dental carriers. They just won't even provide you the option of paying your own dental claims, which to us doesn't make sense for the employer. I get it from a carrier perspective, right? They want that 40% margin that Dan is talking about. But from an end user and employer perspective, when it's a capped benefit, you really should just be paying all your own claims. So that's what we shifted to. We lowered our fixed costs to the $4,000 range instead of the $48,000. So we got that $44,000 discount in premium, and we're going to set that money aside to pay for our dental claims, which we expect to be about $36,000 for the year. So that brings us to a total spend of $41,000, which is 15% below our current costs. So saves the business about $7,000 off of the cost of dental insurance. And that's not that much money in the scheme of benefits, but it's really about the lower cost at a better benefit to our staff. So not only are we saving money, but we're also giving better coverage to our employees. And this is the real example of the plan we had before. We had a buy-up PPO with a 180/50 plan, the typical dental insurance option. And then our core plan was a lower cost option, and it had some cutbacks to the percentages. It was an 80/80/50 plan in network. It was an active PPO. So if you went out of network, you barely got any coverage here. So we really improved those dental benefits. We kept the limits the same, still $1,000 for the buy-up plan and $750 for that core option. But now our employees get instant access to the money. It's 100% coverage for preventive, for basic, for major. We're even allowing them to use that money for orthodontia, whereas before we didn't have orthodontic coverage. So great benefits, improvement to both the buy-up and the core plan, and the overall cost, $7,000 less than what we were paying Cigna last year. So really, this is the definition, right? Of better benefits at a better price. And this is probably something that a lot of your customers have never seen before, especially in the, again, 50 to 300 life space. It is almost all fully insured dental. There are a few brokers out there we know talking about self-funded dental, but this is going to be unique, and it'll help you to win that customer. Even if they don't end up using it, right? We just want to give you an idea to help set yourself apart, help you win that broker of record, and hopefully a new customer. So once they get on board, what's the next step, right? You got to explain this to their employees. And dental insurance today is pretty difficult to explain. There are pages of exclusions and waiting periods, and then the different percentage payments. We wanted to make the process much simpler for the end user as well. So this is the summary of benefits that we deliver to our staff. And it just simply shows the dollar amount by medical or dental tier. So employee only gets $1,000, a full family gets $3,000. And then it shows the categories that we're paying for. So for preventive care, basic, major, and ortho, you have full access to those dollars. So pretty simple, dollar amounts and the categories that we're allowing the coverage to be used for. The core plan, same concept, just different dollar amounts, right? These folks are paying a little less for the core option. They're getting a smaller limit, $750 versus $1,000 for those individuals, and then $2,250 for the full families on this plan. And same funding categories can be used for any of their preventive, basic, major, or orthodontic coverage. All right, the next piece of this is from a common question we're getting from a lot of brokers that are out there selling the dental difference, which is, well, what about the network? How does the network compare to what you had with Cigna? So I'm going to let Dr. Dan talk about the My Dentist Match tool that his team created, which really does help to improve the access to care on the dental side as well.
Can you hear me okay? Okay.
All right, Dan, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Great. Okay. The transfer, I think the transfer worked. Let's see.
Yep. All good.
Okay. So I've got another blank screen, but I'm going to talk through it here as this, as it catches up. So one of the things that I learned over, the years of talking with brokers and such is there's so many of you that have the best interest of your clients in mind, and that you want to provide those better benefits to those employees, and really do it for a better price and offer a better benefit, like we've been talking about. And so with that, one of the things that always comes to mind is this question that would come up: what is your network like? What does your network look like? And so one of the things we did was, and understand it, was ask, why do you need a network? What is a network there for? And so when we talk about that, people think that the only way to get benefits is really to go through an insurance network. And that was the main concern about the network. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. There's lots of ways to get savings at dental offices and discounts without going through an insurance company network. There's cash savings, there's in-office plans, there's dental discount plans. And so what we did was we created an app to go ahead and really showcase what's important to the end user, for the employees, and they can look for a dentist in their location by price, location, reviews, hour, services, and you can kind of drag and drop these, whichever is most important to you. But when you're thinking about dental difference, one of the cool things really is that if you want to continue to see your current provider, you can keep doing that. And that was another key question that we got from a lot of people, from brokers. If they're switching plans, can I keep seeing my current provider? Well, yes, you can keep doing that. However, if you want to go ahead and see if your dollars can go further, or maybe you're looking for a new dentist or move to a new area, or you're telecommuting or whatever it might be, and you want to find a dentist, you can go ahead and do that. So once you go ahead and rank these, you can go ahead and easily search, click the search button. Then what happens is you get a list of results, right? And so the results that you're seeing here really go ahead and showcase, okay, these are dentists in the area, in that zip code area. And you can see savings available on the side here. If you click on one of these savings, you can see what's offered at that office. And so this one has 3 different types of savings. This first one here is an adult plan. It gives you a savings description. And for example, this one is 2 cleanings, x-rays needed for annual exam, and 20% off additional services. And if you look at these end of year statements, right, these summaries, most people are using, like 70% or more are using their dental benefits for your cleanings, exams, and x-rays. So this type of plan here that you can see gives you those cleanings, exams, and x-rays, and you get to save on what you may need. So it's really more about only paying for what you need, okay? So bottom line, really what we're doing is you're creating a better benefit at a better price, but you're getting rid of that use it or lose it model of dental insurance and having more of a use how you choose model, where before you had to wait to figure out what you can use your benefit dollars for and how much of those benefit dollars, where now you can actually take those benefit dollars and use them immediately for exactly what you need and know how much it's going to cost. So a word about cost. Here we have a button where you can click more ways to save, and it talks a little bit more. There's some videos in there and such about more ways to save at the dental office. If you want to take it a step further, you can also click on local dental fees to compare local dental fees. I know there's, as a dentist, we like to think there's a lot more than just a fee component. And of course there is. It's how you're treated, it's the service, but this can give you a good idea and create more of that fee transparency that people are looking for, so they can understand how to use their dollars that they have in their account, in this case with dental difference. Chris, back to you.
All right, thanks, Dr. Dan. And really powerful stuff there. So to address kind of the original question, right? What's the network like and what's the disruption? These are common terms that we're hearing every day in the dental RFP world. Well, really the disruption is 0% because every dentist is accessible. You can always use your dental difference dollars for any dentist that you want. So it's always going to be 0% disruption. It's just a matter of, does that dentist offer a discount to a quote unquote cash paying member? And a lot of them do. And then there are also ways to find those discounts using this dental search tool, either in-office plans or dental discount programs. And Dan and I were working through the statistics. I think there's like 80% of all dentists out there participate and have some kind of discount that they apply. And then there are those dentists that they don't provide any discounts. They're not in anybody's network, and they're not giving you any discounts anyway. But this is just giving people access to the fee structure and to all of those pricing discounts that are already out there.
And Chris, one thing, if I could add to it too, you mentioned the dentist that might not be offering any plans or anything like that. If they know a local employer is offering dental difference, we actually have a way through our system to go ahead and refer those dentists to us so we can actually get them set up on a plan to help those local employers in their area.
Yeah, that's a great point. And let's get them into the discount program. So if you see somebody that's not in there, you always can refer them. All right, so we've walked through a lot of great examples of how to win new business using the HSA plus MERP strategy and the dental difference strategy. Let's say you're interested in a dental difference quote. What do you do next? Well, first step, talk to your difference card senior consultant or renewal consultant if you're working on an existing customer, and ask them to put together a proposal. They're going to ask you for some data, the current or renewal dental rates, the dental plan design, maybe the latest invoice. And then they're going to ask you, do you want commission built into the dental difference? And we're standardly putting in $5 per employee per month commission into each proposal. You might want to bump that up to 10, or you might want to take it out if it's a competitive scenario. So that's up to you. Work with your difference card senior consultant on that proposal to make sure we've got the right fit for your customer. So why don't we take a couple of questions now? I saw a few come in the chat, and one was from Jennifer about, is this handled just through the MERP structure, the medical expense reimbursement plan? And it's similar to a MERP in that it's set up on a Section 105 plan so that it's a pre-tax benefit, but we are going to keep it separate from the MERP policy. That way you can offer this to dental only members. We have some groups that have just come on for the dental. They're not even medical customers yet, but they're buying this just for the dental savings. So you can decouple the two. It doesn't have to be attached to the medical expense reimbursement plan. We're setting up a separate program just for the dental. It is integrated into the same website, same card and call center. So if you do have both the MERP and the dental program, it is all together for you in terms of one website and one service offering, but we keep the amount segregated. That way the employee can see, here's my balance on the medical side and here's my balance on the dental side. There was another good question from Brenda about, well, what if the preventive services don't count towards that maximum, right? I want that to maybe also be incorporated into the dental difference. And I think you answer your own question here. You've got a good idea on it. You really can just add in a higher amount to the ultimate dental difference limit, because that's essentially what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we know the average cleanings are going to cost $200 a year. So we're building that in. So instead of $1,000 limit, maybe we go up to $1,200 for a single on that situation. So that's the customization effect here. You're not stuck to the $1,000 limit that they had last year. We have seen some groups put some big dollars into that dental bucket and improve the amount of money that they're giving. Some are allowing those dollars to roll over year too, to encourage people not to spend it all at once if they don't need to. That's an optional part of this. Others are saying, all right, $1,000 a year. So you can customize how the structure in terms of the funding of this actually works. All right, Taylor, am I missing any questions in the Q&A? How are we doing here?
It looks like we're pretty well caught up, but we do have one more question coming in from Jennifer on if maybe you could go into the nuances on pairing an HSA with a MERP. And okay. Jennifer, feel free to add more detail in the chat if you've got like something specific you want Chris to go through, but that was the question.
Yeah. So that's another good one. Back to kind of the original strategy of the HSA plus MERP. So similar here, you've got two different buckets of money. You've got the HSA bucket, which is the employees' dollars, and they're potentially investing that money, and they might not swipe the card for it, right? Because you've got the investment component of an HSA. So there's a lot of details there that we can get into maybe in a separate discussion about how you can invest those HSA dollars and the nuances involved in that. But you do need the HSA to pay first, right? In order for it to be a qualified plan, the MERP is not going to pay first. The difference card MERP component is going to pay second dollar coverage after the employee has satisfied their portion of the plan. That keeps it as a qualified plan with the IRS so that you can then still contribute pre-tax to the HSA component. So I think that addresses the question that we had there. There was one other from, was it Brenda? She's talking about how some dental plans, oh, that was the preventive one, right? So there was another about the non-scheduled benefits that do they apply or not under the maximum. And same thing here, like if it's an emergency benefit or anything like that, it still can be used with these dental difference dollars. So whether you're scheduling it or not, you still can use your dental difference dollars for it. The scheduling component is just an easy way to make an appointment with a dentist. That's a feature of that My Dentist Match website. But whether it's scheduled or not, you can still use your dental difference dollars to pay for those dental expenses. All right, Taylor, so why don't we wrap up here and talk about our next webinar?
Yeah. So first of all, a huge thank you to Dr. Dan and Chris, as well as Stephanie. I thoroughly enjoyed the presentation. I'm really excited about the salad. I'm going to go to the grocery store later this week. In the meantime, I want to encourage you guys to sign up for the third and final session of our Healthy Habits and Health Insurance webinar series. This one is our cute name we've come up with. It is Calming the Q4 Chaos. So we know Q4, you guys have been through a lot. It's December. You kind of are a little frazzled. So Stephanie is going to lead us through a guided meditation. Don't be afraid of it. She's like so zen and great, and it will not be scary. If you've never meditated before, I promise it's just like a good chance to kind of calm down. And then on top of that, we're going to build on the past two sessions, and we're going to talk about our Healthy Difference wellness strategies, which is a new interesting component that you can add into everything we've talked about up until this point. So go ahead and go to diffcard.co/calm to go ahead and get signed up. You will get another wellness gift, just like you have for these other webinars, if you are some of the first attendees to sign up. We hope to see you there. We hope you enjoyed today's presentation.